रबाळ रबाळ अर्थ मी कन्सोलला जाते पण गणपती स्टेशनला नाही रबाळ ऐरोलीला पण आहे ऐरोलीला लांब आहे ना तुम्हाला ऐरोली पण मला नाही पण कोण असणार म्हणजे किती तिला पण ती पण ती कुठून ते म्हणते नाही मला आता ते पेपर दिला नाही का मी विचारते वरती आणि मग सांग एक मिनिट मी ते याचे मुलं आले इंग्लिशचे क्वेश्चन आन्सर आवाज येतोय हॅलो यांचे मागच्या तर मग याचा माहिती
Okay, so you need to take your, thank you. Girls, enough. Finish the answer. You cannot sit without a text, either you or no. It's just have it on your table. One minute. Open your notebook. Excuse me. Open your notebook. Once you're done talking, I can tell. Okay, so now you may have to change your seat to talk again. So over here we have already finished second phase of the international. I'm just quickly doing a recap. And it is the reason because if you remember second phase, then only you'll be able to do this only for that. Okay, so it will be a very quick recap. That is a 5-10 minutes recap. I think you were not there in the class. Then I think you both were not there. So just to give you an idea, we did this chapter that is moving nationally along with the first day and the second. So I'll cover that part, it needs like 6-7 minutes part, right? Which will be connected to Muslim. So at least when you do Muslim, you may not feel that you lost. Only for that. Otherwise, you may have to do it for the recording. So whatever your procedure. Okay, so we discussed second phase of the Indian national movement. What do you remember for second phase? Quickly.
This people led mostly by the extremists.
Loudly, so that we can hear you.
The phase was mostly led by extremists, and it was during the time when the split of during the time when the split of Bengal was decided, and which led to a huge growth in the nationalism. It also is signified by the Surat split, where moderates and extremists had to put their differences aside. They had their differences, but then they put it aside so that they can work together, but eventually they split up.
Split up, very good. So over here, what she's trying to say over here is, boys, please, enough. Excuse me. No answer. No answer. So here, so what we are exactly doing is there was a phase of Indian national movement. That is, we had the first phase and the second phase of Indian national movement. What she said it about the partition. So what happened is there were two types of people in India. Right? Do you know anything about these things? What I'm talking about? You already know? May I know what are you?
Moderate and extremists. Moderate with the constitutional education method, and extremists were like they'll get what they want to get. And they'll by any means.
Exactly. By any means. So do you think so that they were more of a violent people in nature as yes. Yes. But they were violent in nature, but there was this thing that they were only adopting to violence if we were not getting things. No. Right? So they wanted, what do they want exactly? What do they want? Swaraj. Swaraj. That is what they love to say that Swaraj is my birthright. So that is what their ultimate aim is. What they're saying is that we are not violent, but if it is required, we will be. Okay, so but there was also one difference between within British rule and without British rule. Who are these? Within British rule, who believes? Imagine. Who will believe in moderates or the extremists? It's common sense, right? And extremists will say we want constitutional changes, we want the complete changes to be there, and we want the electorate system. What is electorate system? What is electorate? Elections. Electorate. Like today we have election commission, right? You must have done in grade 9 elections and all these things. So that's the same thing, what electorate system. Are we clear with this? Any doubt? Then in your exam, they may ask you the contributions. Okay, so the basic rule of your contribution is you have to write your heading. Okay, you have to give at least 2 lines under that. And use your keywords, like for example, Young Bengal or the name of the book, poverty and British. And all these things, if you use, you'll get marks easily. Okay, so this would be the strategy. So obviously, the details you need to see later on. Okay, but this is just that. So this was all the thing that over here, partition of Bengal. Do you know anything about partition of Bengal? Okay, partition of Bengal is a major thing in the Indian history. Why? Because Bengal had a lot of nationalist feeling. Okay, Bengal was always known for people who had the spirit of nationalism, and there was a lot of people, huge population, and they were not divided like into Hindus and Muslims. So that's why it was a major thing for Britishers. They wanted to split them. They said, how will we split? And if we come and say directly that, we are splitting you, there will be anger. There will be revolt of 80. There might be a revolt of 80%, the way it had happened already. So they did it very smartly. They said that, we are doing it because the administration is difficult, so many people are there, and that is why we are doing. And what was the real motive?
They wanted to split and divide.
Exactly. They wanted to divide only policy. Right? They wanted to weaken the tide of nationalism. So these were the things which they wanted to do. So that is what over here they talk about, that how smartly they were making their moves, but however they were unsuccessful in doing it because people were understanding. Because they thought that the people are still like moderates. However, they are not like moderates. There is a new people coming up. Who are those people? Okay. So what are the names given in your textbook? Is it extremists, radicals, whatever the name I forgot? No. Name as in assertive. So use the right word assertive because Icse is little tricky because the teachers over there, the checkers may not know that assertive also supports extremism. So as or whatever thing. So use the word which is given in the text. But otherwise, logically it is correct. Okay. So this was partition of Bengal, and then she was talking about here. This will be used in the Muslim League. Since there was a partition of Bengal, there was a kind of feeling which had come. So people had started believing it. What was the birth of Swadeshi? Now, so do you know the difference between Swadeshi and boycott? You should say, what is Swadeshi? Exactly. And boycott? Ban, boycott. Like we said, boycott these things. Ban. Technically, will lead to the same thing, right? But one is non-violent and the other one is violent. You are openly straight away saying it to somebody's face, I'm boycotting you, which may lead to an anger. So they see the way Narendra Modi does, right? Make it India and all these campaigns. Okay, then we discussed about the Surat split. So here, Surat split, so you will find that obviously in detail I'm not telling you, it's just that somewhere the assertives and the moderates have different viewpoint. Right, and here you would find that the first time this split happened, and this extremists, that is assertive people, were the ones who left Indian National Congress. They said that we cannot work with you. So it's because it was being started by moderates. So here you'll find that who became the new president, Dadabhai Nauroji, how Reshmi coached, and the last story is also given that before that there was another session. Would you have this? Yes. Why would they support? The problem was not about partition of Bengal. In partition of Bengal, both were not supporting it. How you didn't support your method, that is important. That people, early phases you're talking about, moderates people were like, it's okay, whatever you want to do, the problem is only with this, Bengal. So if you want to raise something, if you want to raise your concerns, let it be within Bengal. But assertives are like, why within Bengal? You did something and we'll do it through the rest of it. This is what the problem is. You understand? Pan-India, exactly what he's saying. Clear? That's about it. This is Surat split, and then your methods we discussed: Swadeshi, boycott, and passive resistance. And all. Then we also discussed about Lala Lajpat Rai, Lal Bal Pal are 3. So we were discussing about this. What did we discuss? Quick ones. What did we discuss about Lala Lajpat Rai? Which party? Yes, and he started with this song. Which is that song? Vande Mataram and all that. So then we also see the preach nationalism, home ruling. Okay, and how this might come in your exam. It's given in your textbook also. That they may ask you the Tilak and Gandhi similarities. Okay, what are the similarities in terms of Swaraj? Yes. Work with the masses, Swadeshi boycott prohibition, several terms of imprisonment, both were imprisoned. Right? That's your second phase of the Indian Action. Is everyone clear? Okay, now let me be very straightforward with you. Okay, I know no student wants to write. It's not this batch. Okay, it's every batch. Okay, whichever batch you have taught, whichever country for that matter. It's not only India, children don't want to write. But the problem is that if you don't write, we cannot score 100. So if you're targeting 100, see, it's up to our, it's up to us, right? What do we want in life? If you're targeting 100, you may write. If you're targeting 70, 80, 60, 85 something, you don't write. So you take a call for yourself. It's individual's call, though no pressure, nothing, right? So because the record has been that, out of 30 students, 27 students getting hundreds. Only because they write a lot. Because what happens with writing is you write once. Okay, the whole year you're not supposed to write. Because it's once and for all. Right? The whole year you're reading your notes, because you'll be doing pre-boards, three pre-boards, test over here, same material. Right? And that material will be like that it's there in the head and you can easily score hundreds. So take a call for yourself. Okay, what we want. If you're targeting, go ahead. If you're not targeting, it's absolutely okay. I won't mind. I say it because I as a teacher target, right, for my students. But you as a student, what you target, that's your call. Right? So take a call after this, you decide. Or if you think that, 85, 90 works for me, what you can do is you can just write small letters, like Swaraj, SW, and all these things. So you can do that. I mean, you see, I'm not saying that for 100 you need to copy textbooks. You know what I mean? I will give an example like she, and even her, the way they write. I meant that way. Okay, I'm not saying that you guys won't write, you do write. But what I mean is that if we don't have the full-fledged proper notes, it's difficult at the time when you're giving your books. Because then again, you have to relook into your textbook something. And doing it all together, it's not easy, I'm telling you in advance. This textbook, one day before exam, will be too much on your head. Too much. And that's our experience for last so many years for students. So when they have this small notebook, they just read that quickly, they see the textbook, okay, and they go for the exam. They start recalling themselves what all this stuff. Okay, so that's the strategy. One time everybody has to work hard. I think you can't deny this. Because nobody will make notes for you. I can give you notes, whatever notes I have. Okay, I have made notes for students. So I can share all those notes with you. Okay, but at the end of the day, you still need to write. You can refer those things because I made it as per the child. So you need to take a call. So right now we'll just do Muslim. And I would just tell you that, just open Muslim League and start looking at it for 2 minutes so that I am opening the president. Can we start? Yes. Okay. So over here, you can see what our intention is. Excuse me. Boys, pay attention, please. What our intention is to do this chapter. Okay. And over here, we are just identifying that how communities can make or break societies. Okay, so this would be our focus, Muslim League, that how, because of the community issue, which was brought by Britishers, right? Because earlier we had the community, we still have our communities. However, we do not have this racism aspect. We do not have this that how we can't sit together or how we can't, because we have democracy in our country. And if we do so, we can be imprisoned. So this is not allowed in the Indian society. You may have it, you as in the general people. We people may have it in our heads that how we have to do it, how we have to work, but you cannot do it in practice. That is something which is not allowed. So here you would basically see the influence of political ideology, how your perspective changed the ideas, change the perspective of people. Okay, overall. So this is our intention to do it. So this is important in our chapter, that's Lucknow Pact. The way in second phase, what was so important? Two things. Exactly. Surat split and partition of Bengal. Similarly, in this chapter, you would find Lucknow Pact. What exactly happened in this pact? You know, what was the pact all about? And I don't know if we can play a video over here. Can I just click this? Can I share it here? What do I need to do?
इनको कंप्यूटर में काम करने दीजिए तो यही होगा
Any problem, guys?
अबे नहीं मैंने प्लेन बिल्कुल गाने से गा रहे आप क्या I'm sticker है कैसे एग्जाम और
So I'm not
Ma'am changed the HDMI. I'm not doing most right.
Okay, guys, it's okay. We can study with them and consider. So good. Okay, boys and girls, guys, excuse me. What is there in your scope? Okay, boys, we discussed that usually it's supposed to be in grade 10, your questions only comes from scope. Okay, and it's only scope, that other things are it's just for understanding, connectivity. Okay, so you can see these factors leading to the formation of Muslim League and its objectives is something first thing. So you can see page number 61. Page number 61, the orange thing that is loss of can you see that those points? So all this is in the scope. So you can mark till Next page 63. Till page 63 before events, we have to do it. And then the next thing which we have is before events. And after this, we don't have it other than that. And the next thing which we have is page number 65. Guys, page number 65. Aims and objectives of the Muslim League. That is there in the syllabus. Are you understanding? And then we have significance of the Lucknow Pact, which is given on page number 67.
Significance or terms?
Significance. So significance of the Lucknow Pact is the third thing which we are supposed to.
वो पता तू ही बोल रहा है वो कुछ नहीं बोल रहा है वो तेरे है बोल मैंने छुट्टी वही सुन दो
So over here, they said that they didn't want to take that blame. That is, it's we who did it. They wanted to put the same blame on the Hindus. They said that's easy to divide, right? And how they did is like they took the bunch of people, they called a bunch of people, and they started saying it that you lost your power, you lost everything. Who took over? It's not us. Who took over? Hindus. So they started feeding, and they started believing it. Why? Then they said, you look at Indian National Congress, you're talking, then when they started saying it that no, it's not Hindus and all, you look at Indian National Congress, does Indian National Congress have a group of people who are mainly from that community? No, they had. The problem is when you look at in detail, they had the number of people who were from different communities. However, history was written in such a way and was presented in such a way that only the leaders were being reflected. Right? When we say that the B.R. Ambedkar is the one who wrote the constitution or he brought these things, and he's not the only one who brought something. He can't do it alone. Right? There were a group of people, but technically we all don't know who were those group of people. Why? Because they were only working and somebody is there to take the final thing. That is what which was happening in India. So they said it's easy to play. Even though Muslims are there, but they are not the leaders. So it's easy to play. So they said it to the community that it's high time that you form your own thing. You want to put demands, you put demands to us, but have your own thing. Don't be with the Indian National Congress. So that is what they started doing. So this is how they started this. They started sowing the seeds of disunity amongst the two communities. And the moment the disunity came in, they were successful for 200 years. Just imagine 200 years. Your generations. It's not even me, it's generations who survived, right? For 200 years. So you can see the factors which led to the formation of the Muslim League. That is first one is, loss of you lost everything. You lost because of Britishers, but we are happy. Mughals were very happy with seeing the white skin. That we are getting to, and they were very welcoming. If you ever look at these people, Indians still blame that why did you let them set up the industries? Why did you let them set up the factories? Right? You were the ones who allowed them. Why? Because you wanted to have, it's like Raja Maharaja coming, calling people, the white skin people, they're very happy that somebody is enjoying with us, sitting with us, watching dances, but they never realized that because of you people, something else can happen. Because they never understood the intentions. Maybe they were innocent enough to do that. Because they never thought so, right? Or the Indian history is also said that maybe they were not thinking about their future. We are the ones who are living our life.
They wanted to establish friendly relations.
Exactly. They wanted to establish friendly relations because they were very in awe with the white skin, Western education, English, something nice is coming up. So that's right. So this is the first reason. Second, participation in revolt of 1857. Third, towards Muslim. Now this problem is like initially the Britishers brought this thing in their minds that you should split from Hindus. First, you brought this thing in mind that it's INC is Hindus, this is Hindus. You have no position, nothing. Your architecture is taken over. Everything is being done by them. Then secondly, you start discriminating them because you want to maintain good relationship with the INC people. So you're playing two ways. First, you're saying this is you split with them, and second, you are the only one who's discriminating them. So they started feeling a rage towards them. They started had the feeling of this rage that they want to split. They want to have their own things. This is what led to the formation of the Muslim League. Third, that is your appeasement of Muslims. So I'll explain you that is what is this appeasement, how Muslims got split up and how they started forming their own Muslims. Are we clear with the reasons? Yes. So what you can do is you can just write in your notebook. Okay. In your notebook, you can put down the chapter name Muslim League and write in such a way you can use it for boards, even if it's little. But okay. So merchant of Venice you're studying? Who's teaching you? Muslim League, and just make sure that you are putting your 4 reasons. Anyway, any which ways you can write it. Okay, and the 4 reasons which led to the formation of the Muslim League, and also put down this thing. This is important. You can just underline in your textbook, please. Number 1, second paragraph. Just underline once and then you can continue. The uprising of 1857 made the Britishers realize that they had to divide the 2 communities in order to prolong their rule in India. That is number 1. Number 2. Second paragraph. And the second is, they dubbed, leave few lines, they dubbed the national movement as a movement for establishing the Hindu kingdom in India. And encourage the Muslims to set up their own separate political organization. And it was the policy of divide and rule that led to the rise of the communal trend, and which further led to the formation. I'm sorry? 1 second. Whole city, yeah. You write this and I'll explain you the factors which led to the formation. And we have to write this. Not required. Can we start discussing factors led to the formation? And it's here. Just take the heading from here. 1, 2, 3. Formation of Muslim.
With 7 factors are there, right?
Yeah. 4, I guess.
7.
7. While we are
I'm against
understanding, you say it. Okay, so here you can see the growth of communalism. Can you explain this picture? What does this mean? Anyone? What are they saying?
The yellow side is the Hindus. The yellow side is the Hindus. Green side is the Muslims.
Okay.
And the interference of British at first demand among the Muslims for the formation of Muslim.
And why were they interfering so much? Is it clear? Picture is clear. That is, if this revolt of 1857 wouldn't have been there, thank you. If this revolt of 1857 wouldn't have been there, so they wouldn't have gone for demand of Muslim League because they were okay. Okay, and you people having communities or whatever thing, but this is what leads to. Clear with the picture? Yes. What does this mean?
Divide and
Discrimination.
which means different communities. So they are divided.
It was not only Hindus, Muslims. Major, it was Hindu Muslims. The other communities also which were focused, Parsis, Sikhs. All these communities were also focused very much. But since they were considered less in numbers, considered, not less in numbers, considered less in numbers, that is the reason they were focusing majorly on Hindus and Muslims. Okay, so this, if the question comes that why do you really want to split Hindus and Muslims? What is the first reason? Can you explain the slide, please? Let me explain. Yeah. Here you can see the slide and you can explain in your own words.
Hindus and Muslims being together as a single community was the threat to the Britishers, as this would encourage a feeling of nationalism between both the communities, and this would lead to this would be a threat to the British.
And the second point, anyone? What did they encourage? What is this communal and separatist politics? Please.
It was encouraged because Britishers to divide and rule.
Yes.
Separate them and-
Yes. Makes sense. Yes. So what did they do in under his rule? Lord Mayor's rule. What did they do? What was the major thing they did? Exactly. So what was the medium of instruction earlier? Hindi, Sanskrit, and these were the languages which were used. Now they're saying, see, this is also Hindus. Easy to split by language. Today, if we say which is our official language? If somebody has to come and split, they'll say, see, Hindi. You always say that every community is being living together and they see Hindi. But technically, that's not the case. They say, if you see the logic, why we respect each and every language. Right? The same respect is given to every language. But it's just that one medium instruction was supposed to be decided, and that is why it has been decided. So if you start looking at things, if for example, English, like for example, when you go to Canada, which is the official language over there in Canada? French. So French is the official language, but they also have one more main language in Canada. Punjabi. They say Punjabi is your, it is a very main. Now you say, why? Because Canada is Punjabi community or Canada is a Hindu, Hindu Punjabi or Punjabi community. No, that's not the case. They said it's just the respect we are giving. If you only have to give French, we may have kept French only. Right? So we just that because there are large number of people who are talking in that language, so we just kept it as in one of the languages, which is considered very. However, they respect all the languages. So this happens in every country. This happens in London also. If you go to UK and all these things, English is there as an official language, but they may speak in other languages also. For example, go to France. You'll find maximum people talking in French only. Why? Not because they have ego, because they don't understand other languages. They don't understand English. They have difficulty in understanding those languages. Right? It's just that they had to bring something. And they had to bring something and they used it. They said, you in your medium of instruction, today also this happens that in many, then what they did in Constitution, what they did in the, stop. No, seriously, say something. Okay, so today also if they say that, that if you want to keep a medium of instruction in your own, that's what they did. They said that you have so much problem with your official language and all these things. You go to any of the universities, even if you go to Jamia Millia Islamia, I don't know if you know about the university. No? Jamia Millia Islamia is one of the central universities in Delhi. Okay, so there were central universities means a common university, centralized university. So they still say that, they don't say the medium instruction is good. They don't say that. But they said that we have respect for it. So there are some courses where they say that you have to compulsorily clear Urdu exams. So that doesn't mean that you are trying to convert me or you're trying, no. It's just that, it's respect. That's all. So this is what they wanted. But Britishers infused in such a way, oh, you see, look over here, it's Hindi. It's not, it's Sanskrit. Look over here, it's a Hindu thing. It's how you want to portray things. And that is how they were successful. Later on, obviously, people realized it. but it was later on, after 200 years. So much later on. So you can see how they used to give huge grants to the schools run by Muslims. I'm so sorry. And the third, what did they, what Hindus, what did they portray? Actually,
Muslims is foreigners.
Muslims as foreigners. Easy trick. You say something to them, you say something to them, split. That is, for Hindus, they portrayed Muslims as foreigners. What did they do?
They planted
Indian wealth and the rule of the Rajput dynasty.
yes.
See, now look over here. You say Mughals, 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 right? But there was somebody before Mughals also. So Rajputs and all these people. Now, if you have to fight, you will always fight, keep fighting throughout your life. First my rule, next your rule, first my rule, next your rule, right? That is what they want to do. Technically, who ruled? Britishers. Technically, they ruled. Nobody ruled, right? So this is their problem. Clear? The next is, what did the past justify?
The partition of Bengal to create Muslim majority and Muslim state, as Hindus will not work for the welfare of Muslim population.
What are they justifying? What did we do? They want to justify and maintain good relationship with you, right? That you have problem that we partition Bengal, right? We partition Bengal because for you. If you are saying that we were not doing it for better administration, but we were thinking about you. Got it? The logic? Easy? What next did they use? Caste system. What did they do in caste system?
Differentiate between the lower.
Exactly, differentiate. They started bringing this differentiation, that is, that what exactly it is all about and what is this happening. How did they treat Muslims, Hindus?
Treated Hindus, Muslims and Sikhs as different communities and recognized their respective leaders as authentic.
That they say that everyone should represent. They said that you form your Muslim league, have your own leader, and that is what happened also. It's not something which didn't happen, it happened. They had their own leaders, they had their own voicing their opinion, everything. And that is why Icse, one of the historians, says that there was so much issues, unnecessary issues which are happening for 200 years. That is why it was being suggested that don't make Jawaharlal Nehru as the, what is Jawaharlal Nehru?
Prime Minister.
Don't make Jawaharlal Nehru as Prime Minister, make who?
Sardar.
Make who? Muhammad Ali Jinnah. They very clearly, that's what Icse Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Muhammad Ali Jinnah was a leader who was leading the Muslims, right? So she says, that is a historian, she's a historian. She says there was a huge debate that time and Mahatma Gandhi really wanted, Mahatma Gandhi denied. There was an offer, this again, I'm talking in terms of the historian's viewpoint. I don't know the truth, it's not mentioned in the Indian history books, but the historian works like that. The historian says that, people wanted Mahatma Gandhi to take up the post of a prime minister. But Mahatma Gandhi didn't want to enter into politics. He wanted to be away from the politics. Obviously, he was technically involved in all the politics. That is it, but he didn't want post as such, that I become the prime minister, I lead certain things. Today also, if we remember our freedom, we remember through Mahatma Gandhi, right? He's been playing a major role in the Indian history. However, the historian says that there was a huge debate and why they wanted Muhammad Ali Jinnah to become the prime minister. Think about it. They said so much problem, unnecessary problem you had for 200 years, unnecessary issues. Somebody else is coming and ruling and somebody is using the thing to split up. Whereas in every country you have one official language. No country has two official languages. Why there is all the problem in India only? So they said make Muhammad Ali Jinnah as the prime minister. Forget everything, finish everything. But Nehru wanted to become because Nehru was doing everything, not as in everything. In the sense, Nehru had been fighting for the post. And he got the support and he became the prime minister. Again, how far it is true, how far it is not true, it is an interpretation by an historian. Are you getting my viewpoint? So this is what they are saying. Spread communal hatred. What is this communal hatred? What did they do? Through public land. Perfect.
How did 26 use the caste system?
Because caste system was already there. Okay, it was very much prevalent in India. However, if you remember this thing, Mahatma Gandhi started with Harijan society and all these things. That is Harijans. Started naming it. Don't bring the castes into over here. They're Harijans. They are working for the welfare of the people. So this is the thing. So it was quite prevalent. However, they were trying to bring a change. Okay. They were trying to use your own words in the sense. That's
Can you check slide that
yeah.
previous slide?
Yeah.
Previous
Back.
Thank you.
So you can what you can do is don't write everything because it's there in the notebook. So just you have written the heading, right? I'm the textbook. So you can write the first heading, and under that you can just write it unity. So basically, unity is a threat for them. Yes, right. So you can, because word threat. Unity, threat, second, encouraged
Now
what?
what's the
Sorry.
reasons for British
Loss of citizenship. Yes. This is the keyword. Encouraged what? Communist, communal and separatist politics. This much is enough for this. Encouraged third, under non-Muslim medium of instruction came in for Muslim schools. What class today? This class. Urdu. Okay, fourth, portrait. Portrait what? Justified. Right, stop laughing. Justified what? Partition of Bengal. Next keyword. Caste system. Next, treated. And next is spread. Just write it in short because these, these points, they give you two. This is a 2-mark question. Just know the keywords and you can frame your own thing. So, sometimes you never know 4 marks. 4 marks, but don't be lazy. That?
Yes.
No.
Next slide.
Don't write everything, dear. Not required.
Next slide,
Just a 2-mark question.
Next slide.
Wait.
Patience is waning.
Patience is
Waning.
Patience is waiting. Wait.
Finish it. You tell me when to proceed, I'll do that.
What? How? Oh, you. How will you?
Can we proceed, guys? Yeah. For this, the first one, the point which we wrote, the heading is British policy of divide and rule. Okay, I gave you the wrong heading. What yeah, these points, all these points are under the heading British policy of divide and rule, not loss of sovereignty. Okay, by mistake I did the second one first. Have you understood? British policy of divide. Yeah. Am I clear? Yes. So please correct it if you have written loss of sovereignty. This is British policy of divide and rule. Next one is next point. You can see in your textbook also. The third one, backward. Can you see the third point in the textbook? Backwardness of the Muslim community in education, trade, and industry. Okay, so what happened in India was, okay, this is important, guys. Backwardness of the Muslims, not in terms of the education of India, it's only in terms of the Western education. Okay, so when you read, so basically what happened was the people, the Muslim community during those times were very traditional, were really wanted their own thing to be there. They didn't want the new thing to come and influence people. So that is the mindset. And even today, it's not something that it's only Muslim community had this mindset. Even Hindu community had the same mindset, like Pandits. They were Orthodox. Today we give a word name as Orthodox because we may not be that much Orthodox as compared to them. Right? So that's where the term Orthodox is coming. However, in Indian history, since they wanted to split Hindus and Muslims, so obviously they were not bringing out this thing that, you know, traditional Pandits are also Orthodox. They were just bringing it out since Muslims did not let the Western education come in to their things. So that is why they considered them backward. Why backward? Because you don't know Western education. Because you don't know English education. Technically, they were not backward. right? Technically, they were quite educated, right? Very much as compared to other communities also. But since they were not educated in English, so they called themselves backward. So they started blaming them because they had this issue. Britishers had this issue with Muslims that why did you, make us, they considered them as the reason for the revolt of 1857. They started blaming them. You were the ones who brought, they said Hindus, they won't say anything. Because they have to target one community. No? They can't target two communities. They don't want to be out of the country, right? Targeting two communities. They said one community will target and will say that it's because of you, revolt of 1857 happened. That's why we have a hatred towards you. Second, they said that because you didn't let the Western education come in, you were always into your own education, you're backward. Third, since you are not Western educated, so we can't give you jobs. Because we can't give you jobs, we can't hire you as clerks because you don't know English. Right, so this is what they were doing with Muslims, and Muslims started feeling it that Britishers are the one who are not supporting us in anything, and they have this superiority issue, racial thing, and they started making their own Muslim. Have you understood? So you can see first thing, backward in education, trade industry. Second, what does the second point mean? Uneducated doesn't mean uneducated in terms of the English. Western education. Third, so if you Muslims would receive modern education, do you think so they'll be hired as clerks? You can't get jobs. Exactly. Majority were educated, majority, they say that was from different communities. They don't say Hindus, they say different communities. Okay. Other communities. Fourth, so they start discriminating. Third, fifth, not involved. What is organized industry? Organized industry in the sense the one brought by Western industries. Next, Muslims were did not accept Western. Next,
Muslims continue to remain backward, whereas Hindus accepted Western education and health.
got it? This leads to the formation of Muslim League. Because you are not being accepted. Why not accepted? I'm giving the reason. Because you didn't accept what I gave you. Clear? So you can just write down the keywords in your notebook. Write down backward in number one. Write down the heading. Okay. The heading same as your textbook. Yes. So which is the first keyword?
Backward in education.
Backward in education, trade, industry. First. Second,
Education.
modern education. See guys, upper class Muslims against modern education. So this is, I think, connected. Few Muslims receive modern messages, common sense. Then what it leads to? British discrimination. It's, I think, it's understood. Everything leads to one another. Third is British discrimination, of course, in recruitment. Yeah, growth of this modern. What? This upper class Muslims. Not involved. Not involved in what? Growth of organized industry. Yes, please. But I'll go back. Did not accept what? Western education. Necessary for government jobs. Where is that boy today? Caution. Oh. This is the same point, remaining backward in those. Yeah. Want to see this?
They were totally not involved or a little bit they were involved in the growth of organization industry. Like some part of
Third mail. You're also right.
it's this full row acceptance of that and that
Sanjeev.
Sanjeev and
Who's to pull that? This Seawoods. Huh? Seawoods. Kavita ma'am is your teacher. Kavita Bhatt, na?
That's very
Meenu ma'am is a vice principal. Who else is there as a history teacher? Kavita ma'am or? Only these three. Zarina is still there. She's a primary owner.
Yes, but she also gets history for 9 hours.
Primary, what is she? Primary vice principal. I know that. I met them first. James Model. James Model. James Model Academy. Dubai. Here this another Shiva. You can have introductions here next week. They're all Done? Can I proceed?
Yes.
Okay, this is important. It comes as a separate 4-mark question. Okay, that is. Sky is fine. Okay, the next is your role of Sir Syed Ahmed Khan. Can I have role of Sir Syed Ahmed Khan. So here it says that the Sir Syed Ahmed Khan was the one who is trying to bring a lot of changes in terms of that he understood that somewhere what is happening is not right. And what was happening in the society? Discrimination. So they were trying to bring it as one nation. So you can see that he was an educationist and a social reformer. And what did he regard Hindus and Muslims as?
One nation.
One nation. Which college did he found? But he later changed his. I love your hair. So beautiful. Madam, write it. Later he changed. Okay, so you can see. No, I'll show it. What I'm trying to explain is, guys, excuse me. What I'm trying to explain is that initially Sir Syed Ahmad Khan had a viewpoint where he believed that, guys, you're talking, where he believed that Hindus and Muslims as one nation and they should be together. But there was a change in his opinion.
Yes.
Okay, and what led to the change in his opinion, that is what we need to see. Okay, why he started changing that now Hindus and Muslims are not one nation and we want to split and we want to have our own thing. So here you can see, he said that his viewpoint changed. Obviously, he was being fed by the Britishers also. He said that the political interests of Muslims and Hindus are different. What Muslims want, Hindus don't want. Okay, that is also one of the reasons that he said that somewhere the education. You say education, trade, industry, Muslims are backward. Muslims are not backward otherwise. They are backward. You are considered backward because we have not accepted Western education because we don't believe in it. Right? So here they say that the political interest is very different. We want something else from the Muslim, from the Britishers. Second, he said there's a formation, oppose the formation of INC. What is INC? Why do you think he must have opposed the formation of INC? Why? Exactly. Because he said that somewhere this is totally, and you have your group of people, that's a moderate group of people, because this assertives have already left, and this moderate group of people don't work the way they should. Okay, as for them. Third, he founded the to oppose INC. Who supported him? And he opined what? Anglo-Muslim unity is possible, but so he wants to join this. He says, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan says, you're talking girls, you're talking about unity, but we cannot become as united. We as Hindu Muslims can't unite. But yes, if you want unity, we can join with Anglos. Who are these Anglo people? British. And you can see over here, Hindu population is in majority, so they would dominate after the Britishers have left. So what did they say? What did he say? British rule is advantages for what? British rule is advantages for what? And what did he say? Educated Muslims should support the Are we clear with this? So what do they want? Unity with unity with Hindus, or instead of unity with Anglos? If you have unity, why do you think he doesn't want unity with Hindus? Because after Britishers left, no Hindus, so they were group. Are we clear logic? Okay. So you can write down in your notebook role of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Role of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Write down the first one. Social reformer, good. Educationist and social reformer. Keep having water. Your oxygen level goes low. Yeah, that's logic. Because you get oxygen. So if you get more water, oxygen is lower.
अकेला लिख रहा हूँ मतलब लोग सच में
Done?
आज से जा रहे हैं
Don't write everything, just write Mohammed College at Aligarh. I mean, Mao College. This is important. Later on, it changed his view. Okay, so his views earlier were different. Yes, please. Everything. Yeah, yeah.
Why would you? And the picnic, I wrote what is like next. What's it?
Sir, this is the same slide, girl. Sir, seven girl changed view. This is the changed view. Actually, you want to write further.
What is my
Name of the person. Opinion is opinion. Uska opinion. Can I proceed, guys? What? Busy talking, wasting my time. Yeah, guys, finish it up. Write it from her. Girls, last 2 minutes. The next slide. Last 2 minutes to wind up.
That's what happened.
Who's back? Listen, Bilal, stop doing this, please. Hey, you guys are writing really slowly. At least I was thinking causes I'll just finish in this session. Factors. So we can finish this up. Okay, this misrepresentation is same as point number 5 heading in your textbook. That is, can you see erroneous interpretation of history in your textbook, girls? So same thing, that is known as misrepresentation. Do not go with the word misrepresentation. Misinterpretation or representation, same thing. So go with erroneous interpretation, which is given in our textbook. Same heading, same things. Okay, but explanation I'll do. So here, let's just discuss this. So basically what they say is that they means this Indian history. So over here, okay, you know this now that there were different types of historians. Even today, we have these philosophies, Marxist and all these philosophies. So boys, it's important. Comes for separately 4 marks. But the different types of historians means that you have historians like British historians, right? What will they do? Will they say supremacy for Indians or will they say supremacy of Britishers? Britishers, obviously. So you have British historians, you have Indian historians, you have communal historians who only talks in terms of community. Okay, you have different types of histories. You have political history. No, you have political history, you have social history, economic history, right? Different types of history, and similarly, you have different types of historians, like economic historian. What do you think Dadabhai Naroji would be? What type of historian would he be? No. Nauroji, is he a political? Is he economic? Is he what? Why? He talks everything about drain of wealth. What is wealth? Economic. He's a typical economic historian who doesn't talk about social and all, social society and all. Social is not a social historian. He just talks in terms of money. So money means economic. Okay, so over here, what happened was that there was a history which was presented by British historians as well as the communal historians. And they very smartly divided the history into 2 phases. Which are the 2 phases? Hindu history ruled by? You know this, sir? Muslim history ruled by? They just forgot to include composite culture. What is composite culture? Coming together.
Religious leaders shape.
Exactly. You are not talking in terms of the composite means. I'm not talking in terms of Sufis. I'm not talking in terms of That is grade 9. Composite culture. So this is what they failed to interpret. They said Indian history, 2 things. Muslim, Hindu. They forgot Parsis, they forgot Sikhs, they forgot everyone. They don't know any of them. These 2 histories. Then, what did they say? Hindu culture was not? But Muslim literature and culture was? What does this mean? Which Muslim culture are you talking about? Which Indian culture are you talking about? Which Muslim period Hindu culture was not developed? It's common sense. If you are saying that it's Muslim, so it's like the culture. Like for example, today also if you go to the community, obviously we'll have same kind of traditions, customs of them only. It's something. Exactly.
How will be the Hindus be developed by the Muslims.
Exactly. Yeah. It's development not in terms of your education. Development in terms of your understanding the same customs and practice. Okay. Education, everybody was educated. Right? If they have to be. There's no comparison in terms of the communities. Right? Next, communalism propagated through
Poetry, drama, novels.
what is communalism? Communalism.
Feeling of unity.
Communities. It may lead to unity, it may lead to
Feeling of unity between communities. Feeling of unity between
it
communities.
may have a feeling of unity, it may not have a feeling of unity, but it's community.
Not between.
Yes.
Under.
But it's the process. Check on Google. Is a good way to take it out.
I don't know.
Check on Google. Help her out. Have you understood till here? Now come to your textbook, please. The first paragraph, please. This is very, very important. Some British and communal history, historians divided, underline, please. First point, page number 63. Divided Indian history into Hindu and Muslim periods. This is what we discussed. Yes. Come to second. Here. This we discussed it now. Right? Second. Second, we discussed this. Ignore the notion of composite culture of India and try to create a referee to communities. Make sense? This is what we discussed.
Yes.
Third, highlighted the myth that Indian society and culture had reached great heights during the ancient period, but was declining during the medieval period, which was dominated by Mughal rulers. And last one, propagated through drama poetry. And this is important, Mahatma Gandhi's lines. Communal harmony could not be permanently established in our country so long as highly distorted versions of history were taught in our schools. So Mahatma Gandhi was blaming Indian historians. Mahatma Gandhi was blaming everything. What was happening? Because they said your medium of instruction, your content of instruction is different in different schools. I'm not talking girls, I'm not talking in terms of the boards, but I'm talking in terms of the if it is what is taught in the Muslim schools during those times, not now. 12:25. It's okay, I'll give you 2 minutes extra. So what was taught during those in the Muslim schools and what is taught in Hindu school? If keep it different, you will never be able to. Yeah, it's a break. I'll give you 1 minute extra. To go 1 minute. Okay, fine. So let's take a break. You make it pause, please. Thank you.
It will be recorded.